Every person carries dreams inside their heart. Some are small, like learning a new skill or traveling to a new place. Others are big, like starting a business, writing a book, or changing the world. Yet most of these dreams remain hidden, buried under layers of fear, doubt, and hesitation. The truth is, ignoring your dreams feels safe. It feels easier to stay in your comfort zone, to keep doing what you already know. But safety comes with a silent cost. The cost is regret, the heavy weight of knowing you could have tried but chose not to. Before courage, life feels quiet but empty. You go through the motions, but deep down you know something is missing. You silence your own voice, telling yourself, "Not now, not me," or "not possible." That silence grows heavier with time, until it becomes regret. After courage, life feels alive. You move, you grow, you discover strength you didn't know you had. The difference between before and after is not luck. It is choice. It is the decision to listen to your dreams instead of ignoring them. Think of the shepherd's story. He spends his days watching sheep, safe in routine but restless inside. His heart whispers of something greater, a journey beyond the hills. Fear tells him to stay. Doubt tells him he is only a shepherd. Hesitation tells him tomorrow will be better. But the dream keeps calling. This shepherd is all of us. We all have dreams that call us beyond our comfort zones. We all face the same voices of fear, doubt, and hesitation. And we all must decide whether to ignore the call or to follow it. Ignoring dreams feels easier in the moment, but it creates a lifetime of regret. Pursuing dreams feels harder at first, but it creates a lifetime of growth. That is the contrast: silence versus courage, regret versus transformation. I remember a time when I ignored my own dream. I wanted to speak in front of people, to inspire them, but I told myself I wasn't ready. I stayed silent, watching others do what I longed to do. The regret was heavy. Then one day, I chose courage. I spoke, trembling, but I spoke. That moment changed everything. Before, I was stuck in silence. After, I was alive in courage. Here's the lesson. Dreams are not meant to be ignored. They are meant to be lived. So ask yourself, what dream have you buried? What voice of fear or doubt has kept you silent? And what would happen if you chose courage today? Here's a simple exercise. Write down one dream you've been ignoring. Then write one small step you can take toward it. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Action, even small, breaks the weight of silence. Because the silent weight of ignored dreams is heavy, but the freedom of pursuing them is light. The shepherd's journey reminds us that growth requires movement, that purpose gives meaning to struggle, and that courage transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary stories. This is the beginning of your journey. Don't ignore your dreams. Listen to them, act on them, and let them lead you to transformation. The shepherd's struggle. Fear versus action. The young shepherd spends his days in the fields watching over his flock. On the surface, his life looks simple and safe. He knows the land, the routine, and the rhythm of each day. But inside, his heart whispers of something greater. He dreams of a journey beyond the hills, of discovering a world filled with new possibilities. Yet fear holds him back. Fear tells him that leaving the fields is dangerous. Fear whispers that he is only a shepherd, not meant for more. Fear disguises itself as safety, convincing him that staying where he is will protect him. This is the before state: hesitation, limitation, and silence. The shepherd believes life is small, that his role is fixed, and that stepping into the unknown will only bring pain. He feels trapped, not by the land itself, but by the chains of fear inside his mind. Many of us live the same way. We stay in jobs we dislike, relationships that drain us, or routines that keep us small. We tell ourselves it is safer to stay where we are. But safety without growth is not safety. It is stagnation. The turning point comes when the shepherd realizes that fear is not protecting him, it is imprisoning him. He sees that the comfort of the fields is costing him the chance to live his dream. He understands that hesitation is not neutral, it is a thief stealing his future. So he chooses courage. He takes a step beyond the familiar hills. His heart races, his hands tremble, but he moves forward anyway. That single act of courage changes everything. This is the after state. Courage through action, discovery, and transformation. By stepping into the unknown, the shepherd finds strength he never knew he had. He learns that fear shrinks when faced, and courage grows with each step. Think of your own life. How many times have you stayed in the fields of safety, believing your life was limited? How many dreams have you delayed because fear told you to wait? Here's the truth. Fear will always be there. It will whisper, it will warn, it will try to chain you down. But courage is the key that unlocks those chains. Let me share a relatable story. A young man dreamed of studying abroad, but fear told him he wasn't smart enough, that he would fail. He stayed home, safe but restless. Years later, he finally applied, trembling with doubt. He was accepted, and the experience transformed his life. Before, he was trapped in hesitation. After, he was free in courage. Action reveals hidden strength. You don't discover courage by thinking, you discover it by moving. The shepherd didn't feel brave before he stepped forward. He felt brave because he stepped forward. Here's a simple exercise. Write down one fear that has kept you stuck. Then write one small action you can take today to face it. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Action breaks fear's illusion. Remember, fear disguises itself as safety, but safety without growth is a prison. Courage may feel risky, but it leads to freedom. The shepherd's struggle is our struggle. His choice is our choice. We can stay in the fields, trapped by fear, or we can step into the unknown, guided by courage. Because if fear is the chain, courage is the key. Mistakes as teachers. From failure to growth. The shepherd's journey is not smooth. It is filled with wrong turns, missed chances, and painful mistakes. At first, each mistake feels heavy, like proof that he is not good enough. He feels shame, regret, and the belief that failure defines him. This is the before state, a life where mistakes are seen as final, where failure feels like the end. Many of us live here too. We try once, stumble, and then tell ourselves, "I'm not meant for this." We carry regret like a burden, believing our mistakes prove we are weak. But the truth is different. Mistakes are not the end. They are the beginning of wisdom. Every wrong step teaches something. Every failure reveals strength we didn't know we had. The shepherd learns this slowly, as each mistake becomes a teacher. One day, he loses part of his flock because he wandered too far. He feels crushed, ashamed, and afraid others will judge him. But in that pain, he learns the importance of balance, how to chase dreams without forgetting responsibilities. Another time, he misreads a sign on his journey and ends up lost. At first, he feels foolish, but that mistake teaches him patience, resilience, and the value of asking for help. This is the after state: wisdom, resilience, and growth through lessons learned. Mistakes no longer define him, they refine him. Think of your own life. How many times have you failed and told yourself it was the end? How many dreams have you abandoned because of one mistake? Let me share a relatable story. A woman dreamed of opening a bakery. Her first attempt failed. She mismanaged money and the shop closed. She felt ashamed, convinced she wasn't capable. But instead of quitting, she studied her mistakes. She learned about budgeting, marketing, and customer service. On her second attempt, she succeeded. Today, her bakery thrives. Her failure was not the end. It was the beginning of wisdom. Mistakes are powerful teachers because they reveal what books and theories cannot. They show us reality. They test our persistence. They force us to grow. So how do you turn mistakes into growth? First, reframe failure as feedback. Instead of saying, I failed, say, I learned. Ask yourself, what is this mistake teaching me? This shift turns regret into wisdom. Second, embrace risk. Mistakes only happen when you try. If you avoid risk, you avoid mistakes, but you also avoid growth. Courage means accepting that mistakes are part of the journey. Third, practice persistence. One mistake does not define you. 10 mistakes do not define you. What defines you is whether you keep moving. Persistence transforms failure into success. Here's a simple exercise. Write down your last mistake. Then, write 3 lessons it taught you. Keep that list as proof that mistakes are teachers, not enemies. Remember, the before is shame, regret, and the belief that failure defines you. The after is wisdom, resilience, and growth through lessons learned. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. His mistakes were his teachers. His persistence was his strength. The shepherd's journey reminds us that mistakes are not signs of weakness, they are signs of effort. They prove you are trying, moving, and growing. So don't fear mistakes. Don't hide from failure. Embrace them, learn from them, and let them shape you into someone stronger. Because failure is not the end, it is the beginning of wisdom. Signs and sacrifice. Listening to life's guidance. Life is always speaking, but not everyone listens. Signs appear in small ways. A chance meeting, a sudden idea, a quiet feeling inside. But when we ignore them, we stay stuck in comfort. The shepherd once ignored these signs. He stayed in the fields, convincing himself that routine was safer than risk. Yet deep down, he knew he was missing opportunities. This is the before state. Ignoring intuition, staying comfortable, and letting life pass by. It feels safe, but it slowly steals purpose. The shepherd felt restless, sensing that life was calling him to something greater, but fear made him deaf to the signs. Then came a moment of clarity. One evening, as he watched the sunset, he felt a deep pull in his heart. It was not loud, but it was undeniable. The sign was simple: move forward. He realized that listening to life's guidance would require sacrifice, leaving behind comfort, risking failure, and embracing struggle. This is the after state: faith, movement, and discovering purpose through sacrifice. By trusting the signs, the shepherd stepped into the unknown. He gave up the safety of routine, but in return, he found meaning. His sacrifices became the path to his destiny. Think of your own life. How many times have you felt a quiet nudge to act but ignored it? How many opportunities have passed because you stayed comfortable? Signs are not always dramatic. Sometimes they are small: a friend encouraging you, a book that speaks to your heart, a chance that keeps appearing. The challenge is not seeing the signs, it is trusting them enough to act. Sacrifice is the price of growth. The shepherd sacrificed comfort, but he gained courage. He sacrificed safety, but he gained strength. He sacrificed routine, but he gained purpose. Here's a relatable story. A woman dreamed of becoming a teacher, but she worked in a stable office job. Her intuition told her to change, but she ignored it for years. One day, she finally listened. She sacrificed her steady paycheck, enrolled in training, and struggled through challenges. Today, she teaches with joy and purpose. Her sacrifice opened the path to her destiny. So how can you learn to listen to life's guidance? First, practice reflection. Spend time each day asking yourself, what is life telling me right now? Quiet moments reveal signs that busy routines hide. Second, try journaling. Write down your thoughts, feelings, and recurring ideas. Patterns will emerge, showing you where life is guiding you. Third, build daily rituals. Morning affirmations, evening reflection, or even a few minutes of silence can keep you aligned with your dreams. Rituals help you hear the signs and trust them. Here's a simple exercise. Write down one sign you've noticed recently, a thought, a feeling, or an opportunity. Then write one sacrifice you may need to make to follow it. This practice will help you see that sacrifice is not loss. It is investment in your future. Remember, the before is ignoring intuition, staying comfortable and missing opportunities. The after is faith, movement, and discovering purpose through struggle. The shepherd's journey teaches us that signs are everywhere, but only those who listen and sacrifice find their destiny. Because purpose gives meaning to struggle, and sacrifice opens the path to destiny. The journey matters more than the result. Dreams are powerful, but they only matter when you choose to pursue them. Thinking about them endlessly, waiting for the perfect moment, or hiding behind hesitation will never bring them to life. The before is a life of regret, silence, and stagnation. The after is growth, courage, and freedom through action. Regret is heavy because it reminds you of what could have been. Silence is painful because it hides your true voice. Stagnation feels safe, but it slowly drains your spirit. This is the cost of ignoring your dreams. Action, on the other hand, brings transformation. Even small steps create movement. Courage grows when you act, not when you wait. Freedom comes when you choose to live boldly, even if the path is uncertain. The shepherd's journey reminds us that the result is not the most important part. What matters is the journey itself, the lessons learned, the courage discovered, and the growth experienced along the way. Think of someone who dreamed of starting a business. At first, they feared failure, so they waited. Years passed, and regret grew heavier. Finally, they acted. The business was not perfect, but the journey gave them confidence, resilience, and freedom. The result mattered, but the journey mattered more. Your dreams are seeds. If you ignore them, they remain buried. If you nurture them with action, they grow into destiny. The greatest loss is not failing, it is never trying. Here's a simple exercise. Write down one dream you've been holding inside. Then write the smallest step you can take today to move toward it. Commit to that step. Action, even small, breaks the chains of hesitation. Remember, the journey matters more than the result. Success is not only reaching the destination, it is becoming stronger, wiser, and braver along the way. So let this be your call to action. Don't ignore your dreams. Live them. Pursue them. Let them guide you, challenge you, and transform you. Because dreams are not just ideas, they are the seeds of your destiny.